Am I the asshole for telling my kids to borrow money from their sister? Not me. I have 4 kids: Carmen, 32, Alyssa, 28, Michael, 26, and Andrew, 21. Carmen and Michael are both lower middle class. Carmen is a single mom of 2 and works as a nurse. Michael and his wife are teachers and are expecting their first child. Carmen makes $100,000. Michael and his wife make a little over $100,000 combined. And we live in California near the Bay Area, where $100K is considered low income. Alyssa is a nanny for an extremely rich family. I don't know if she's considered live-in, because she lives in a separate house, but on the same property. She makes $250,000 per year plus bonuses, doesn't pay for rent or utilities, rarely buys groceries because she always eats with the family. They bought her a brand new car, they pay for her gas, maintenance, all of her medical, dental, vision, etc. is 100% paid for by the family. Hell, they even pay for her gym membership and her vacations. She's worked for them for 2 years now, and recently bought a rental building in cash. Needless to say, she's doing very well for herself. Michael and Andrew just asked me for money. Michael needs $30,000 for part of a down payment for a townhouse, and Andrew wants $10,000 so he could graduate with no debt. I told them to ask Alyssa for money, not me, and that she could easily afford to help them out. Alyssa called me the other day, asking what I said to her brothers, because now they're both asking her for money. I told her what I told them, and she yelled at me for volunteering her to help with her brother's expenses. I told her that I never said she would help them, I just said that she easily could. She said she doesn't feel comfortable loaning money to family, because she doesn't want to risk their relationship if they don't pay her back. I told her it shouldn't be a big deal if they don't pay her back, because we know her Christmas bonus will be close to double what her brothers want. Plus, if she says no, she could potentially risk her relationship with her brothers, because she can afford it. She hung up on me and hasn't spoken to me since then, so I wanted to know if I was the asshole. You're the ass. You basically reviewed your daughter's finances and deemed that she can afford to give thousands of dollars to your children without even speaking to her. You could have simply said no to your sons. Instead, you created family drama among your children. If I was her, I wouldn't share any of my business with you ever again. You seem to hold her success against her. She worked her ass off and made sacrifices to plan for her future. Working with wealthy people is exhausting. They are demanding and fickle. Kids are work too. Ugh. I actually think the main point is that mom's treating her daughter's money almost like it's hers. Her other children ask for money. Oh, just ask daughter, she should be able to help you out. Like, OP, this is totally none of your business, how much daughter makes, and whether she shouldn't be giving her siblings money. That's her decision, and hers alone. You're the ass. OP also never addresses if she could afford it. I don't know about you, but I sure as hell wouldn't be asking my parents for $10K, let alone $30K, because I know full well they don't have it, even if they wanted to. OP's response was just, ask your sister, not me. Not I don't have it. You're the ass. Beyond what everyone else has said, being a nanny is by definition a time-limited job. The kids grow out of needing that level of care. The employer's circumstances change. Alyssa may never again be so fortunate. She is wisely investing in the rental property and preparing for her own future. Why are you offering up your daughter's money to other people, like it's your own? Especially for non-emergency situations that there are other options for. You're the ass. Am I the ass for taking my daughter's phone away? I have a daughter who recently turned 11. She has a different dad from the rest of my children. Whenever one of my kids turns 12, I buy them their first phone, which is usually a cheap phone, because I don't think a kid needs an expensive phone. She has been complaining recently and asking me to buy her a phone, because all her friends have one. I told her she has to wait like her siblings did. So imagine my surprise when today she came home from her dad's and had a phone with her, and not just a cheap phone. I don't know much about phones, but it looked expensive. I was furious, so I took her phone away and told her she is not getting it back until she turns 12. She started to cry and called her dad, who called me an asshole for taking the phone away. I told him he had no right to buy that for her, and she should have got a cheap phone at her 12th birthday, like the rest of her siblings. Why can't her dad have his own rules and buy her a nice phone? Are you envious? You're the ass. You're the ass. He, the dad, has every right to buy his daughter a phone. You can limit her usage while she is at your place, but you have no right to take it away from her, and you don't get to dictate what her dad chooses to buy her. You're the ass. Her dad can buy her a gift. You're punishing her because you're embarrassed that you can't provide the same level of tech to your other children. That's a you problem. You're the ass. Why can you make a decision about the kid, but her father can't? You're the ass and a thief. Her father should phone the police and insist on pressing charges. Am I the ass for going to a restaurant she likes, but I don't order food? We were deciding what to eat and she really wanted to go to this restaurant. I was on board with it, but I am super picky and had no idea what this restaurant had. We get there, I look at the menu, and nothing looks even semi-good. For example, all of the sandwiches had wheat bread only, and I hate wheat. Anyway, I let her order her food, and when the lady asks what I want, I told her I wasn't eating. I told my girlfriend I wanted her to enjoy the meal, and I was happy to be there. My girlfriend got so mad, got up and left. I left with her and asked what the big deal was. She insists that I need to be there eating with her. We ended up going somewhere else together, but it irritated me. Am I in the wrong here? Update, it was some French cafe. I've never been to a French restaurant, but I was willing to check it out. Their menu wasn't very big. I just wanted her to enjoy a nice meal. Update, there was no waitress. We ordered at the counter, and they put the food on our tray. Also, we had been together for 10 months, so I don't think there is much to feel awkward about. Update, I have no allergies. For the most part, I can usually find something to eat at a restaurant. But this French restaurant had nothing worth eating, in my opinion. Update, I didn't Google the menu beforehand because we've never gone to a restaurant that I couldn't find something to eat. This was a lunch, not a dinner. Update, okay, so I just learned that all bread is made of wheat. We are all smart in different ways. It was some type of whole grain or sourdough. What I meant to say is I only like white bread, but brioche buns are good too. Update, 10 months into the relationship, and we never went to a place where I couldn't find something to eat. This was the first time this happened. Also, I do try new things. I'm not stubborn with it, but usually it is me trying her food, because I only order things I know I will like. I don't like wasting food, nor my money. I mean, there's picky and then there's adult who only eats white bread picky. The place had sandwiches, for crying out loud. How much of a surprise could it have been that you didn't like anything? If you're that picky, I think the burden is on you to do some research ahead of time, the way someone with a food allergy or other dietary restrictions would to determine if there is something on the menu you can eat. You're the ass for showing up unprepared and then, almost, making your girlfriend eat solo. Nobody likes doing that, and it's kind of rude to the restaurant and wait staff as well. You're the ass, picky eaters are so exhausting. Sharing a dining experience with them is so limiting. And seems like half the time, they will just want to go to the same, limited choices over and over. It's different if someone has dietary restrictions because of medical issues, religion, or they're vegan, vegetarian. Restrictions like that are easy to understand. And there's reasoning behind them, and eating can be planned accordingly. Someone just wanting nuggies and hating on wheat bread is a nightmare. Go try something new. You're the ass seems like a passive-aggressive protest. You could have ordered salad, side, veggies, appetizer, etc. I'm sure there was at least one thing you could have gotten. Or at least told her before. Hey, person with an actual, selective intake eating disorder here. Some people just can't handle certain foods, and this shouldn't discount them from being an adult or having a romantic life. This comment section can kiss my ARFID ass. Am I the ass for not making it to my daughter's graduation? I, 50 male, have a daughter, 19 female, who used to live with her mom, 50 female, but she now goes to uni in the north. This situation happened back in May, but my daughter recently completely cut contact with me for it, and I need to know if I am wrong. My daughter and I had a lot of issues with our relationship after the divorce was finalized, and it was always painful, because all I've ever wanted was to be the best dad I could to her. Despite our issues, she made a step of good faith, and invited both me and my new wife to her graduation brunch and graduation. My daughter has always been such a go-getter, and planned the entire brunch herself. Her mother and I were supposed to split the cost, but I could not afford it, so her mother paid for the brunch in full. When my wife and I arrived to brunch, it was better than we could have imagined. She had the place decorated to the T. When I got there, she gave me a huge bear hug and asked if we could talk. She let me know that it slipped her mind to grab everyone's tickets for the graduation, because she needed to set up brunch, and said someone would contact me and would get them to me, so that we could get in. After we all enjoy the brunch, my wife and I go home to wait for the graduation. As we are waiting, no one reaches out to us. My ex-wife and I are on bad terms, so I have her number blocked. Around 20 minutes before the graduation is to begin, my other daughter, 21 female, calls and asks if I am there to get the tickets from her. I am taken aback. I expected to be contacted long before the actual graduation began. I was hurt to say the least. It felt like people didn't want me there. The graduation goes on, and I couldn't even bring myself to watch it out of anger. I was so hurt that people would treat me this way. I congratulate my daughter the next day, and she asks why I didn't go. I tell her my side of the story, and she says it isn't enough of a reason to miss her big day. She has gone completely no contact since then, only reaching out to have a very fighty conversation with me, which ends in me saying she thinks I am a horrible father, and her agreeing. I really need guidance to try and get my relationship with my daughter back. Am I the ass? You're the ass. I know it started with a mix-up, but you could have still gone. Have you been to a graduation? Unless your daughter was one of the speakers, or her last name is Aardvark, you would have gotten there in plenty of time to see her walk, even if you were a little late. Instead, you turned her big event into an opportunity for you to nurse your fragile ego. I'm confused. You knew when and where the graduation was, yes, and that you were invited, and that someone had your ticket. So why did you not show up? If you were nervous about heading over, without knowing who you needed to meet up with to get your ticket, you could have just texted one of the many people who you knew would be there, including your other daughter, and asked, "Hey, do you know who has my ticket?" Not just decide you won't even bother exiting the front door, even though you committed to being there to celebrate with her, and every arrangement has been made for you to do so. You're the ass. You have to put the bare minimum initiative and effort into showing up for your daughter if you want a relationship with her. You're the ass for making it all about yourself. You hadn't heard from them, it's a busy day, you don't say anyone was rude or unwelcoming at the brunch, but you still assumed the worst and played the victim. It wouldn't have killed you to fire off a text message double-checking the plan. Instead you sulked, and missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment with your daughter. You're the ass. You also owe her mum the brunch money. Don't think we all ignored that. Well, that's a whole lot of assholes right there. I can't believe that the OPs even question that what they have done is complete asshole behavior. 100% complete lack of awareness. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and give it a like.